Okay, finally got everything situated. I figured out which light bars actually need to be kind of repaired or just some parts swapped out. Everything looks pretty new in here. The gearboxes are in perfect shape. Arrow sticks where I want arrow sticks, and I'm going to be putting 2 of these blue lenses on one light bar to go on Big Blue. So Big Blue will have a blue, white, and red light bar with arrow stick in it. One of the all red light bars is going to go on Captain America over there. This light bar here, which I found a broken deal, I'm going to be able to put another light I found and then repair that. And then all the consoles are I don't know, pretty much intact that I wanted. I got one with a cool mount here that's probably going to go into either the Mad Max car I'm getting back from my buddy. It's got some pretty cool options on it, so you can't really see. Some of them interfere with each other, but these have the hydraulic cool little deal to flip them out of the way, so I can actually use the tablet on there, and you pull this little knob here, and if somebody's in the passenger seat and wants to watch a video or work on the tablet, you've got that, which I've never seen this set up before. It's almost like a roll cage, plus it lets you get to your stereo. So your tablet's actually where your stereo would be, and then you've got this to flip out of the way. I've got a cool little map light here. I've got all the mounting provisions for the controllers for the light bars, because all my cars are going to end up with light bars now. This one here, the stereo you can reach through this hole, so it's kind of the same arrangement, except like I said, you have to get that figured out. And this one's a duplicate of the first one, so it's got the nice little red and clear map light, which is cool because you can put that out of the way and use this for night vision, or like a ticket light. So, and it's got adjustable intensity. I've got my switch here for probably a shotgun mount. The other one I'd rather have is a momentary switch here, and this is a control for a momentary switch on the shotgun mount. And of course, got cup holders. This one, I'm going to put my own cup holder on it. I've got partitions, which I'm actually going to use for a roll bar. I might leave the window in it, but I'm going to take the bottom of the partition out, or maybe section it, and then so literally all these partitions are going to go into cars. And I've got the center consoles. I've got the center console that's going to go in the Taurus, and then this Taurus here, which is a parts car, actually has all the controls for a smart siren in the back, and it also has a sneaky little switch in here for the shotgun mount here. So that's going to lock in a second. That's locked. I got my fire extinguisher mount. I've got this here which is for my smart siren. See if I can get this to come on. So this is everything for my sirens, all my controls for whichever car I decide to completely outfit. There's no speaker hooked up, but you can still hear it activating. But I've got all my controls for the smart siren, the PA, alley lights, aerostick control. So all this actually goes in on the dash. I just have it hooked direct so I can actually see everything working. And all these are legit and activated. This is, of course, another little timer that's for this shotgun mount I was talking about. So again, we've got this. And if you leave it open even after it locks, what's cool is it's magnetically controlled. So after I close it once, it's locked. And then, so I've got my code 1 off. So code 1, code 2, code 3. Got my air horn, whale, all the different features here. So all that stuff. So, and this is kind of nice because it automatically goes to sleep after I haven't used it for a while. So, and this whole rack is actually going to go in the back of one of the Tauruses because that's what this is actually made for. So this will probably going to just outfit Roxanne with all the lights and sirens, light bar. Can't put wigwags in these Tauruses because they have a single element headlight, which you can't see here, but with wigwags you run the high beams to flash alternately between each side, and then the low beams are just they stay lit as the wigwags flash at night. But if you turn on the high beams, you defeat the wigwags anyways because you're using the high beam element. Well, these cars, since they have a single element headlight which has a little flipper in it, so it's actually got the light bulb is already lit, and then there's a flipper that redirects it to a different reflector, so your high beam and low beam are actually the same bulb, which is nice because you can put an HID bulb in there if you want, and it'll actually stay lit all the time, and you still have an instant high beam and low beam. You still have the warm-up process of the HID, but what's nice is, again, you can have high beam and low beam with an HID or an LED. But so, of course, one of these light bars will be exactly where it's at on Roxanne, which is the black Taurus twin turbo EcoBoost all-wheel drive police car. And so it'll probably have all the smart siren. It'll have its own center console. I do have the correct lights to go in the grill, which you can't see here, but I do have a grill and bumper that's going to go on that car that's in better shape. Let's see. Can't really see it, but there's a hole cut out here in the grill. And there's also provisions in the rear bumper. And then, of course, there's lights that go in the back. And then there's lights that take the place of this piece here, which so it'll be fully outfitted. And then of course there's two square lights. I don't know if you can see them. I don't want to take them out of the package, but these type of lights go on either side of the push bar on the front of the Taurus. So I still need to get a Taurus push bar, but the black car is basically going to have everything a police car has in it, except it's not going to have partition, it's not going to have the police back seat. This car here still has, I still have a back seat in this. That's not for this car, it could be, but this is actually to go into the, if I get finished with the squad car, which is Lola, it's going to have full seats front and back, and that one's going to be possibly a third Mad Max car. So the one light bar that's on top here, which I guess I can show you that one again. See if it's hooked up. Yeah. This light bar here, which has reds and arrow stick and a bunch of other stuff on it. That one is probably going to go on. I forgot which one that's going to go on. That one's either going to go on my Jeep or possibly the top of this, but more than likely one of those 7000 code 3 light bars is going to go on that. And then I keep forgetting what I was going to use the strobe light bar on top of, but I've also got Sandy, which is the 38-foot bus. Probably going to put two light bars on it, front and rear, which are going to be just all the reds. So one of these in all red is going to go probably on Captain America, and then the leftover all red light bars are going to go on Sandy. An all blue light bar is going to go on Dodge, which is big blue. A red and blue is going to be on the old Mad Max car, which is Charlotte. And then I believe a new and an old light bar is going to go on Vixen, which is the newer Mad Max car. So I'm going to have probably one of these blue code 3 LED X bars, the 2100s, on Vixen, and actually maybe probably one of those, and then this strobe bar. I'm not sure because I don't want to waste an arrow stick function. These actually have an arrow stick across the back, which is a traffic advisor. This one's turned around the wrong way, and its traffic advisor is in the rear, which its traffic advisor isn't very bright because it's the old school LEDs, so they're not as intense as these. So I could use that light bar in the front, but I kind of like having red and blues available on the police cars. It looks kind of cool even if I can't use it except for exhibition purposes. But basically whatever light bars are left over, which I'm going to have one MX 7000 left, probably in all red or red and blue. I think I'll have a red and blue one left because I have 3 blue lenses altogether. So I'm definitely using one of the light bars on Charlotte. I'm going to go all blue with one of them for the Dodge. So then I should have one more red and blue left to sell of an MX 7000. And then I'm going to have probably Jeep light bar, Roxanne light bar, and Vixen light bar. Then I'll have a leftover 2100, and unless I decide to put this bar on the Jeep, which I might, because it's all red and it has a lot of ambers. I don't really need any blues on the Jeep, obviously, and it's off-road only. So, I mean, I'm only going to use it for off-roading when I have the light bar on. It's a street legal truck though, so I can take advantage of a lot of the light in here, and the arrow stick I can use these, actually not these are strobes, but these I can use for rear turn signals. So we'll see, but I'm probably going to give my buddy one of these light bars to put on his Bronco, which he's building into a Mad Max, a street legal Mad Max truck, unless he wants an MX 7000. And then I think he's going to get these old school KC square lights and this roll cage for the Bronco, because I don't need it. And then the only thing I got left is I got to search on eBay or Amazon to find a light controller or a breakout box for this Sound Off LTE 5000. This is a full light bar, and I think this one only has ambers and white, which if I can find the control box for that, that'd be the perfect one to go on the Jeep, because then I can use it all the way around on the street and not waste any lighting on it that I'm not going to be able to use. So technically, one of these 2100s is going to be for sale, or two, and probably an all red or a red and blue MX 7000. And then probably one or two of these partitions will be for sale, which nobody's going to want them. That's not something anybody really needs. And then I've got just a ton of lighting. These are strobes, controls, headlights that are already equipped with wigwags. I've got an old school chrome spotlight, which is probably going to go on the Jeep because it's an 89, and that would be period correct for an 89. So I'm going to make the 89 Jeep into kind of like, it belonged to the Forest Service, or the fire department. Anyways, so that's going to be kind of cool to bring it back to an actual fire department type vehicle and have a light bar. It's going to have spotlights, and it's also going to have possibly some wigwags. But like I said, I haven't decided what light bar I want to put on. These light bars are actually really sturdy, so I can actually stack stuff on top of them. If I put a metal plate, I'm actually going to have a metal plate cut out of aluminum or stainless. It's going to be maybe chrome or satin of this material here. And you don't need the top of the light bar anyways. All it's doing is it's just holding extra plastic for lens. But this whole top area just sits in the sun, gets bleached out. So I'm going to cover the whole top of it, still be able to get to my clips, but the entire top of it will be either painted flat white aluminum piece with flat white on it to keep it cool, or it'll be a polished chrome, which will kind of be a good reflector in the event of me being out in the middle of nowhere and maybe being stranded. I'm probably going to have it held on with some Zeus fittings or some quick lock, or even just some Scotch lock Velcro, and then I can peel that plate off and position it different ways to get attention. Either that, I have some solar panels that are actually about the width of this almost, if there's two of them, and I could put solar panels on it, so I could actually, it's kind of a bug out vehicle anyways. So having solar panels on top of this, with the plate on top of the solar panels, I can remove the plate and store it in the truck, or use it as an extra reflector so that my batteries can charge in the Jeep when I'm out in the middle of nowhere. So pretty much got homes for all the light bars and the consoles. Just maybe 2 or 3 light bars are going to be left orphans, and 2 or 3 of the 4 partitions, which I'll use them for parts, and I can actually make a whole roll bar out of this metal. It's actually pretty sturdy. It definitely won't be race spec, but it'll keep a roof from crushing in. Don't ask me how I know. And then I'll probably have use for all the consoles, or at least these 2 here, and they'll have the off one that somebody would probably